is that for some reason people come to me and I don't look at them with judgy eyes. I have no predetermined notion or preconceived notions, and they open up to me.
Right.
That's what they're upset about. Because if you look at a lot of these people that's been on other podcasts.
Shannon Sharpe's show Club Shay has been blowing up ever since Cat Williams' interview, and he has had many explosive interviews this year alone. And let's just say that some folks in the industry are not loving this one bit. This is because the interviews have exposed many secrets about some of the industry's most popular and powerful people, including Diddy, Oprah, and Tyler Perry. It looks like Shannon is now dragging them for filth, exposing them for not only trying to cancel the show, but also trying to ruin his life for not taking down interviews after they asked him to. It looks like Shannon is now claiming that he also has more dirt on these people, and he's going to leak it if they don't back down. Y'all better get in the room, because Shannon is not here to play. Shannon Sharpe has had the world in a chokehold ever since he dropped his interview with Cat Williams at the start of the year. It was pure chaos, and that chaos has remained since that interview. And we have seen the dark side of the industry that we rarely get to see, with all the juicy secrets that he spilled. It's no surprise that some important people want the podcast shut down before he spills even more tea. Shannon recently sat down for an interview and dished out all the news about the celebrities trying to shut down his show and sabotage him, that even sending him threats. Those stars who were eager to be on the show faded into thin air. Now, everybody knows that the business is chaotic, but these people are going to extremes with Shannon. Word on the streets is that Shannon's life could be in danger because the haters are in full swing.
I didn't know it was gonna cause this kind of ripple. I didn't think it was gonna move me in the direction. I'm glad it did. I understand what comes along with that. But if you remember,
in this same interview, Shannon talked about all the crazy stuff he's been dealing with since Cat Williams' interview went viral earlier this year. He had a conversation with Cam Newton and shared why celebrities are comfortable enough to spill all their secrets on his podcast. And Shannon explained that before every interview, he makes it clear to his celebrity guests that they don't have to talk about certain topics if they don't want to, which makes them comfortable enough to tell their own story.
I said, is there anything that you don't want to talk about? I always ask the guests that. Sometimes they say, well, I would appreciate if we not talk about this.
Right.
Cool, no problem. Because I believe you can tell your story without saying something negative. But yes, I believe a person that's been in a business, that's been doing something 10, 15, 20, 30 years are more than one salacious story.
Right.
That's what I believe. So if they say they want to stay away from it, but if they want to tell something, who am I to say, no, you can't tell that.
Right.
People are, Cam.
Now, one big thing that the haters have been using against Shannon is that he is not a real journalist. In his latest interview, Shannon made it clear that he is not a journalist and never claimed to be one. For those who might not know, Shannon is a highly successful retired NFL player who was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. In 2011, he went on to work as a sports commentator for several years after starting his Club Shay podcast in 2020. During the pandemic, the podcast was pulling decent numbers, but things went wild with the Cat Williams interview, which currently has more than 70 million views already in his most viewed interview on Club Shay. But the crazy thing about this is that the interview almost never happened. Shannon revealed that he had been trying to get Cat on the podcast for about a year before the episode finally came together. One day, he got lucky and ran into Cat's new manager, who connected him with CAD. Just a week later, Cat was on Club Shay spilling all this industry tea. Now, Cat Williams knew that he was about to set the industry on fire because he made it more than clear.
They all coming.
No, they ain't.
Are you kidding?
Nah.
Hey, I
A
promise
good thing
you.
I done got all the rest of them. I done got the ones.
I promise you, everybody trying to double back. You're gonna be having to beat them off with a stick. You gonna let him? They're coming. Much as.
And boy, was Cat right about that, because while Shannon was enjoying Club Shay's success, he noticed that some folks in the industry weren't too thrilled and were trying to sabotage his podcast. And that's not the whole story. Some celebrities, upset by Shannon's achievements, started labeling him and Club Shay as troublemakers, blaming him of stirring up drama in Hollywood because of the Cat Williams interview. But it doesn't stop there. According to these insiders, these celebs, supposedly including Oprah and Diddy, were allegedly making moves to discourage other celebrities from appearing on CL. Shay Oprah's conflict with Shannon began at odds for years during their partnership on the movie Precious. Monique chose not to join in an unpaid, unscheduled press tour. This decision allegedly injured Oprah so much that she started spreading rumors about Monique being difficult to work with.
Tell them.
Of course, this didn't sit well with Oprah at all, and it's not hard to see why Monique really went in on Oprah during her interview, and she definitely said her piece. It had people talking about how Oprah did Monique dirty. I mean, Oprah even shaded Monique for having negative energy, saying it's a law that if you meet negative with negative, you will just have a combustive negative force of energy. You can't meet negative energy. Where it is, you have to rise above it. You have to transcend it. I would never stoop to try to meet somebody where they are negatively don't care who they are. After that, Monique was blackballed, and no one in the industry wanted to work with her because they feared what Tyler and Oprah might do. Allegedly, these two are titans in the industry, and when they decide to black boss someone, looks like it happens. To her credit, Monique has always fought against being silenced by the business. Once she discovered that she was being blacklisted, she quickly called out those responsible.
I got labeled as difficult because I said one word, and that was no. Now, I said no to some very powerful people. What Tyler Perry showed me, Lee Daniels, Oprah Winfrey, and Lionsgate. When you don't do what we ask you to do, we'll take your livelihood. Oprah Winfrey, Tyler Perry, Steve Harvey, Kevin Hart. So everybody that Cat sat right here and told you about, everything he was saying was on the up and up. No one's saying he's lying. I can't wait to see your next interviews with those people.
They ain't coming on now, Mo.
Cat Williams reveals why Oprah and Tyler Perry are Hollywood snakes. Comedian Cat Williams called Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry Hollywood snakes, joining in the conversation about their alleged shady behavior. Williams accuses them of expecting a coming messiah while scrutinizing everything, and highlights Oprah's rumored exploitive actions and Perry's agenda to emasculate black male actors. Several black celebrities have distanced themselves from the duo. Williams criticizes Oprah's treatment of Monique and Dave Chappelle, and expresses distrust towards Perry. Fans are reacting strongly to these allegations, calling out their perceived dark ways.
The wild part about all this is that Monique admitted to Shannon that she only received $50,000 for the Precious movie after extensive negotiations. While $50,000 might sound like a lot of money to regular folks like us in Hollywood, it's pocket change that barely covers bills, and we don't even get started on the costs of things like hair, makeup, and other celebrity essentials, not including when Uncle Sam jumps in on actress Robin. She stated that about 80% of their income goes towards taxes, agent fees, legal fees, management, and other expenses. Following this logic, Monique likely only pocketed around $10,000 from the role, which she described as daylight robbery. Plain and simple, this made Oprah look terrible, and if there's one thing that we know about Miss Oprah is that she does not like looking bad. To make things even worse, around the same time, Oprah was accused of lowballing Taraji Henson, so Monique spilling the tea on Oprah just made things even worse for her. However, Oprah is not the only one, because during this interview, Cat Williams also exposed Diddy for trying to get into his bed. Cat told the story of how Diddy tried to put moves on him for a very long time. He claimed that Diddy tried to seduce him for years and get him in his bed. And when that didn't work, he then threw money around and offered him $50 million. I've had to turn down $50 million.
I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Can I need to know. You hear?
Now, when Al Sharpton heard the tape, because he heard it, he said, that man is wrong. And you're like my daughter. So I'm going to have to call him up. Kevin Hart heard the tape. He said, Mo, I called him, and he said he don't want to revisit it. And I didn't push that. I was grateful that he kept his word, and he called. Our mutual friend, when I explained what was really going down, she was like, I'm not with that, let me call him. And she called him. And he said, I don't want to revisit that. Then he called back while we were on the phone, and he said, no, I changed my mind. I will meet with Monique, but not with her husband. And then she has to apologize to me and Oprah Winfrey for saying that we had anything to do with ruining her career. Now that was recent. So as I sit here with you and you say, wait a minute, I heard that man say he was wrong.
Yes, I did hear it.
And was going to apologize. Well, that's turned into, now I'll meet with you, not with your husband, and now you have to apologize to me. How does that happen? And I'll tell you how, and I want to look right into the camera if I can. Oftentimes, when it comes to a black woman speaking up and speaking out, it goes unheard until she dies. Then once she dies, then we go back and say, well, she was right and let's make a movie about it. See, I can give you their names, Eartha Kitt. I can give you their names, Hazel Scott. I can give you their names, Fannie Lou Hamer. I can give you their names, Hattie McDaniel. All of those women took a stand. And all of those women left here heartbroken, unhealthy, looking at a community saying, y'all know I'm right, but why won't anybody say anything? People will ask me, do you dislike or do you hate Oprah and Tyler and Lee? No, let me be clear. I love those people. We love those people. My husband and I love, they're our brothers and sisters. And as my husband always say, Mama, we ain't calling nobody out. We simply calling them up to say, listen, let's make our community better by making it right, not keep running and hiding behind what you consider is your power.
Just how desperate was Diddy to get Kat in his bed? Because $50 million for one night stands is just insane. And is it just me, or does it seem like Diddy enjoys the chase? It's a messy situation. And Kat also had people talking about Diddy's parties, the crazy stuff that went down again. The timing of this was messy as F, because it was only about 2 weeks after Cassie filed her lawsuit in which she exposed him for gross misconduct. So Kat exposing him in a video with more than 70 million views probably didn't do him any good either. Then we have Tyler Perry, who was exposed by Monique when she exposed Oprah. See, Oprah was not the only one who blackballed Monique, because Tyler also played a role in that. See, the movie Precious was produced by Oprah and Tyler, and they hated the fact that Monique was not willing to work for free, so they allegedly tag-teamed her. But Tyler Perry has always denied this, insisting that he didn't say anything about Monique or that he got her blackballed. He always insisted that if anything happened to her career or she lost out on jobs, it was on her and had nothing to do with him. She came into the podcast with so much fire and energy, especially when she went after Tyler Perry, claiming he straight up lied to her face and played these mind games like he didn't know what she was talking about. She said during her interview that Tyler eventually apologized and admitted that he messed up and swore he'd fix everything, clear her name, revive her career, and all that stuff. But it never happened because Monique said Tyler ghosted her after that.
Only for Tyler Perry to admit I was wrong, and when my movie Boo come out.
And get this, y'all, she was not playing around. Monique claimed that she had an audio recording of a call with her husband and Tyler Perry himself. In that recording, she says Tyler owned up to the start of that rumor that got her blacklisted, saying it was out of line and totally unfair. So with all this, it's honestly not all that surprising that Diddy, Oprah, and Tyler would want to shut the show down, because it has made them look very bad. Even worse, Shannon has been hinting that he has more dirt on celebs that he's going to spill, and they're trying to stop him from leaking the tea because they know that it's going to be crazy. Well, you know, the fans are all wanting to know what the tea is, and they've been leaving comments saying the industry hates what it can't control. Keep pushing. These people are so sick. That's the problem. The celebrities that have a problem do not, I repeat, do not want those stories discussed, unfolded, or told. It's sad to hear this, but the behavior of these celebrities validates everything Kat said during the podcast. Y'all, this situation is absolutely wild, but I got to know what y'all feel about this. Do you believe Shannon's got more tea to spill, and he has a whole lot of dirt that's going to come out? Drop it down some comments below, and then check out this next video.